Chapter 7. This is the end, my dear old friend, the end. Outside the room, everyone is here. Dragon carved granite blocks make up the room. The dragon statuized sockets are empty, but there's a red glow that lights the room. The scout goes in and dances, then starts to check the area, while cleric detects magic. The rogue notices that the light is dimmer and quickly runs back to us, still outside. Monk walks in, and it's getting darker and darker, and even blind sight is affected. He goes further, and it's really dark. Magic emanates from the dark circle before the statue. We all go in, and the darkness is oppressive, and whispers start. Around the circle, there are four hazy figures. We get closer, it continues to get darker, and the figures look like they're statues and are facing away from us. We cannot see the statue anymore, but we can see the eyes. It's now totally dark beyond the range of the monk's candle, even to those of us with dark vision. The monk checks for traps. The door is locked, and the rogue stands up to frighten the monk before attempting to open the door. We are all cramped into the area around the monk, and then the shadows attack. I am missed, but the barbarian is hit. Bard casts fairy fire and blasts the area with luminous blue outlined. Sadly, no creatures were illuminated. Fighter hits the creature and then strikes again. I hit the creature with chill touch, but it's still up, and I have nowhere else to run, so stay where I am, trying to not look like a target. The cleric turns undead, and the shadow screams. The fight is not going well, as no one can see, and the creature has taken hits, but is still up. Bard careless whispers into the creature, and it screams more, but then it disappears. Monk moves up and lights the area, and attacks, but misses. The fighter hits it once as the creature moves away. The creature circles round and attacks me from behind. Thankfully, the healing from last round means I'm still standing, but I'm very, very weak. Cleric casts Hunter's Mark, doing extra damage, but can see the creature with his previous cleric intuitions. He steps up and twats it hard, but it's still near me. The fighter runs towards the cleric, attacks the area, and hits the cleric while swinging wildly to get the creature. I hit with chill touch again, and then the rogue shoots and hits it with a sneak attack, but the thing still stands. Barbarian moves out into the other room, leaving us all, and the cleric randomly heals a person in front of them, which happens to be me. The monk runs back to me and lights us all up again, but still cannot see the creature. Monk stands in a circle while trying to light the shadow, and the statues turn into Dragon King, who have sludge coming from their hands. The bard careless whispers the creature and then moves off, just checking on the barbarian. The shadow strikes the fighter, who drops to the floor nearly dying, but staggers up with orcish vigour. The cleric hits the creature now in its light, and finally the creature is dead. Guildan stays still, the fighter leaves. I disengage and quicken a scorching ray, but only hit once. The monk is hit once, and then the paladin is struck badly. Another strike, the cleric. The rogue moves away and shoots one in the back and then hides, and the cleric casts spiritual weapon and hits one nearest to the paladin. The monk hits the same one. Bard leaves, the cleric drops his weapon. I miss poorly and scamper off into the darkness. The monk is hit and suddenly turned into a statue. A creature appears in silhouette near the rogue, so he sneaks off with the rest of us. The paladin and the monk are left with a cleric a short way away, and behold the rays of Jesus, a sacred flame for once works as intended. Monk drops his weapon and flails away. He is then petrified in a weird position. The paladin starts to run and I am gone, joining the other area that is better lit. One of the creatures appears next to the cleric, silhouetted in the light, and is struck with a spiritual hammer. Soon both the cleric and the paladin have left the area and are back in the dimly lit area of fungus. Next day. We're going back, all turtled up and ready for action. The room is empty, but darker. The statues start to fade slowly from view. We carry on turtling into the room. I don't know what turtling means. And my plan to keep me safe has me up against the wall and in the prime position. Then the shadow attacks, but thankfully misses the bard. The fighter attacks and hits, and the creature attacks the bard, hitting him. The creature moves and is revealed by the paladin's skill, but he moves away just before he gets a chance. The monk moves towards the last known position, and then the paladin moves up and whacks it again. I was waiting with a scorching ray and hit with all three bolts, which hit it badly. Things are that bad that the bard draws a dagger. The barbarian walks round with a javelin ready, and the monk moves away from the party. The rogue moves into the darkness and is struck. I back off and ready in action. The cleric has the candle and heads towards it. Bard takes the candle, but still sees nothing. The barbarian then takes the candle to move forward, and as he moves into the area, he illuminates the shadow, meaning Myself and the bard finish off the shadow with burning and cries of your mum. The cleric heals the party members that were injured. The monk, fighter, paladin pull over the first statue, which then begins to animate. Bard is the quickest and lights up all the four statues like a boss. The monk disengages and drops the candle, and the fighter attacks. The cleric picks up the candle and casts a spiritual weapon to whack one of them. The rogue misses. I unleash a scorching ray and explode it in a fiery mess. The paladin hits, and then the cleric is struck and freezes in place. The fighter is hit as well, but does not freeze up. The paladin is missed. The bard careless whispers one, and it moves away from him. And as it moves away, the paladin whacks it, killing it. The monk moves in and punches it repeatedly until it explodes into dust. The other statue is in the darkness until the fighter takes a candle and reveals its whereabouts. The cleric solidifies and becomes a statue. Let the sorcerer power darken my spirit, written in Draconic, around the raised platform. The fighter, paladin, and barbarian drag the cleric back to the bottom of the vine area, and the paladin climbs up to ask for help from the goblin lady above. She says if it was the dragon statue that did it, then all would be fine the next day.